Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Clumsy Flying. That's a bit dark, isn't it? It's just the lighting. It is a bit stormy here in Singapore today, so we have to compensate with additional lighting. One sec. Yeah, that looks good. I'm also wearing a Clumsy shirt today. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for joining me on this rainy morning. I'm sure that looks a bit different from where you guys are at. How's the weather where you guys are? Hey Tom, Scotsman, my Canadian tour guides. Thanks for joining, glad you made it. We are continuing our Canada tour today, starting in Montreal, doing a VFR flight to Quebec for some sightseeing, and then doing an IFR flight to, where is that? Halifax, I believe. Yeah, that's right, there you go. Hey Recovery, thanks for joining. What time is it there again? 10 a.m? Cool stuff. Right, everything looks okay, I think. So I'm trying to remember the IKEA code that we used. 62 hours now. X and flying. 12. Ah, wow, 4-hour difference, huh? That's a huge leap. What color do we want today? Let's see if there's something nice that we can try. I do like this one. This looks very similar, but with a blue hue instead of red. Put here, let's put November. Okay, that looks okay. Now, where did we want to go? Montreal. Let's see if they can find that. Of course, if I can spell correctly. Montreal. Montreal. That's the one. Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima. That looks familiar. Isn't it? 8 p.m. Tuesday for you. How's the weather? What's on my head? This thingy? This is Track IR. This is for the head tracking thing. That's why I look like an alien. Oh, there was a plane there right now. So what time do we want to set it at? Maybe around... Nice morning flight, maybe around 7. Something like that should do the trick. Live weather but not live time. 3-4 at 2 knots would probably be a nice 06 left or 06 right departure. This might do the trick, this gate here. This ramp for GA, that looks good to me. Alright, we can take that. And everything else we just set up inside the cockpit instead of doing the flight planning here. I've heard that a lot of the bugs when it comes to the avionics with the flight plan, changing the flight plan, actually roots from this one. When you set the flight plan in the main menu and you go with that, it might cause additional conflicts later on, additional bugs. So instead, plugging in the flight plan inside the plane itself when we get there in the cockpit might be a more reasonable thing to do. So let's go and try that approach. And while things are loading in, we can try and plan the flight. So let me load up little nav map. That should be... What are we tracking? We'll see later. So that's little nav map. Charlie Yankee. I think I did something like that already. Didn't we? Anyway. Alright, so that is Halifax. Charlie Yankee Hotel Zulu. We'll take care of that later. But for now, it's Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima. That's going to be our departure. And Quebec is Quebec Bravo. I think so. And if we look at that in the map, that's going to be how it looks like. So in Montreal, and is that the right airport? Yes, it is. So we can basically follow this river. What river do you call this again? St. Lawrence River, all the way through. Fly VFR if the weather permits, and it seems like it does based on how that looks. So we can just do this VFR. Looks like it's going to be 126 nautical mile flight, but I think we should be able to handle that. And let's test pilot to ATC if it can handle VFR conditions, VFR flights. No worries, man, I'll show you how it looks. Remember the name of the river. Good catch. Barely finished. Your flight from Netherlands with flight with ATC over the landing route. Flight with... I see. Yeah. Is that in Belgium, I think? St. Lawrence River all the way to Halifax. Is there such a thing? One sec. So, you mean... one second. So, if we are starting from Quebec, going to Halifax is here, right? Am I looking at right? Wait, one sec. This one, rather. Hotel Zulu. But where is St. Lawrence River nearby here? Well, I can follow that way, I guess. But that will be like the long way around. Alright, so in the meantime, let me bring pilot to ATC in here. Let's connect. Let's change our call sign. This is for the on-air career mode that I am doing, the new YouTube series that I am doing, where we use the on-air company manager to get an even more immersive experience, if that's even possible in this. There you go. We've been given the frequencies that we can tune into. We do want to fly VFR today, in this particular leg at least. Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima to Charlie Yankee Quebec Bravo. There you go. That looks good. 06 left, runway 24 will be the arrival. Cruising altitude will be, I guess, 3,500 would be a fair altitude. Let's see if it will allow us that low. Yes, okay, good. So let's validate that and we will file it. Goes all the way to Atlantic Ocean. Yes, okay, so that's the one. So St. Lawrence River, if we trace this back, yeah, that's the one. And this is the Atlantic. So we can trace the river and then go around to Nova Scotia. We'll, after we reach Quebec, let's plan that leg. See how much time we have left in the stream. And then how much time we can afford. And then we'll adjust from there. Sound good? Okay, that looks good here. I'll plug that in here as well. And then, and this is why I need triple monitors here, because so many different applications. Montreal to Yankee Quebec Bravo. Okay, just leave that in. And I'm going to mainly use Navigraph, this app I'm using, mainly for the charts. So if I open the charts list, what I just need from you is the airport and the airport at the arrival as well in Quebec, but not the flight plan itself. So I'll just need to reference the charts like so. There we are. And later the arrival like so. But for now, we focus on this one. So if we're going to taxi to 06 left, it's going to be a pretty straightforward route. Well, We might not need the entire runway. That's 11,000 feet of runway. You might be able to actually go via Bravo 2 and take off from there if air traffic control would permit. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, where can I place this? I'm running out of space now. Let's put this here. Helicopters. Yes, they said that they are interested in adding that in. There's no specific time for it yet, but it looks like it's going to be a paid DLC. Something like that. Start up the plane here. I like turning it off and then on for the proper boot up sequence. There you go.
Aural warning, okay.
Hey, Patrick. Twitch, baby. Indeed. Thank you for 9 months, man. Glad you made it today. How are you? Tune in to the correct altimeter setting. So in here, what we'll just do is go to flight plan.
Pause system test, okay.
Add in our airport, Uniform Lima. And then add the destination Quebec Bravo. Straightforward, nothing fancy. Zoom out. That's exactly the plan that we are going to follow. And we can follow the river all throughout. Looking good there. Alright, Navcom, let's go ahead and tune in to clearance delivery. 125.6. We are in Canada. No need for decimals. And we should hear some radio chatter soon. 06 left, if I look at my chart here, 06 left has a magnetic heading of 057 degrees. So that's what I'll plug into my heading. 057. So later as we take off, we'll have additional guidance on where we should be facing. This one, make that FMS. There you go. Quebec Bravo, indeed. Hey boss, thanks for joining. How are you? Yar! Hey Jack, glad you made it. How was your stream? Sorry, couldn't drop by again. What was I planning to do? Well, planning to turn on the auxiliary boost pump. Voltage looks good. I don't think that's simulated anyway to flutter about. You turn that on instead of off. NG climbing. Propeller should start spinning. I love that. Hum. 13% NG. Switch to low idle. Introduce fuel. Hear that engine spool up. Ah, that's something I have to change. If you hear the voice, the chatter, that's actually a Filipino pilot. Because I have my voices set to Asia. Let me change that. Switch to... I think I should have some Canadian chatter in here. There we go, Canada. Alright. So if I switch the frequency out and in, ITT. It's going too hot because I didn't go to flight idle. My bad. There you go. That should be Canada voices.
To Fox Lake, Hamilton 1 departure, flight plan route, runway 20, 4511, airco 147.
Airco 147, read back, correct, altimeter 3030.
Good.
3030, thanks.
Tempted to use your points to make a flight request for next week. Request 2 in a row. We'll see. I can delay it if ever. If no one else is requesting anything, that should be fine. Rescuing Imperials from a burning space station at over 100 FPS because of your new rig. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That must be super exciting. Do you see a massive boost with the much improved CPU? Let's go ahead and request for clearance here for VFR. Let's do a flight following kind of thing.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima ready to copy VFR clearance.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima cleared VFR to Charlie Yankee Quebec Bravo with radar advisory service at 3,500 feet.
3,000.
Squawk 5053 advise of altitude changes en route.
Cleared VFR to Charlie Yankee Quebec Bravo, maintain 3,500 feet, squawking 5053 dBm 1 Charlie Lima.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima rear back correct. QNH is 1023, expect runway 06 left, contact ground on 121.0 when ready to taxi.
121.0.
Have a good morning.
QNH is 1023, expect runway 06 left, ground on 121.0 for taxi dBm 1 Charlie Lima.
Good. Switch to ground. Let's have a look. Tower frequency is supposedly 119.3, I guess, but there are multiple tower frequencies, so we'll just guess which one it is. Depending on what pilot to ATC will give us later, we'll just adjust. Where's our paper plane? That's true. That is still being made by the mods. Want my points back. Okay, Tom, sounds good. 98% of your games are so much better FPS wise. You were being throttled by your CPU before, I can imagine. And your stream should be doing much better as well. With the 3700X, it's more than enough to power you through both the games and the stream. Right, let us taxi.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima ready to taxi.
See where they'll guide us.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima taxi to runway 06 left via taxiways Hotel, Echo, Bravo, Bravo 2, Foxtrot, hold short runway 10, and runway 06 left.
Interesting.
Taxi to runway 06 left via taxiways Hotel Echo Bravo Bravo 2 Foxtrot, hold short runway 10 and runway 06 left TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Okay, so where they're actually telling us to go is Hotel, so left here, follow my mouse. Echo up, Bravo here, Bravo 2 here, cross Foxtrot, cross runway 10, and then Foxtrot, and then go and join up to runway 06 left. I'm going to make it a shortcut, just go to Bravo 2 just to keep it short. And then I hope they'll allow us there. Can we say midfield? Nah, it's okay. We'll figure it out later as we go. An hour vid used to take 120 minutes, now 25 minutes, my goodness. That is night and day difference.
Good morning, it's Western 8975, Alpha Bravo 2 for gate 12. Western 8975, ground, good morning, taxi.
Halifax to Boston.
Bravo Victor 8 for another discretion, it's 8975.
Fine with that. Although the plane will not move. I did find that oftentimes the plane does have this like kind of sticky brakes. You need a lot more power in the beginning to just make it move. It's a bit weird, but I don't know if that's how it works in the real plane. Turn on our taxi lights here. Flaps for takeoff. Trim for takeoff. So we turn right here on Echo. Ask the chat where they want to fly. That can work. Like a secret poll. 3070 now to complete it. Oh yeah,
Bravo November,
that would be amazing.
118.3, holding short.
30 Bravo November.
They should be coming up with the benchmark scores in a couple of hours, I imagine. Here in Singapore, it's the 16th already. Also in recovery, where recovery is in New Zealand. And they did say that the benchmark videos will be coming out on the 16th, but I'm assuming that's either 16th UK time or 16th somewhere in US time. So at the latest in a couple of hours. So we'll see. I guess we all know that these new Nvidia cards will be powerhouses, but it still helps to really see how much improvement there will be in real life setting.
Alpha Oscar Canada 1.
Yeah, sounds good, Tom. Let's see how it goes. Because if there's no one who will be requesting anything, I will just continue my own air career because I'm so engaged in that mode for now. It's so good having a full-blown business simulator that focuses on airlines, an airline company, and at the same time flying those specific routes that I plan. It's just so fulfilling.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima clear to cross runway 10.
Fine, let's follow the lady.
Cleared to cross runway 10 DBM 1 Charlie Lima.
I was planning to go do a shortcut, but since she cleared me anyway, let's do that. Runway is clear on the left, clear on the right. Let's go ahead and cross runway 10. We are now on taxiway Foxtrot. We make our turn right here, and that should be runway 06 left soon enough. I do see some flickering models in there, which is weird. Don't see that often. You can now play MSFS 2020 on medium. 40 to 90 depending on where the plane is at. Oh, that's great. Did you buy it already? Is it time to fly yet? Is it time to go multiplayer yet? One of our streams should do that. Might be even more of a disaster party, but we can make it work. Now the windsock does not seem to be agreeing very much with this choice of runway that we have, but fine. Like it's pretty calm anyway, so it shouldn't be so much of a factor. Company jobs. Sounds good to me. I'd like that.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima contact tower on 118.9er. Enjoy your morning.
Seems like I got the wrong frequency, but that's fine.
Tower on 118.9er DBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Let's stop in the whole short bars here, right there. And tune into tower 118.1. Transfer. 118.9er. Got that wrong. 1189. Transfer. There you go. Request for takeoff.
Tower TBM 1 Charlie Lima ready for departure runway 06 left.
Well, a wheelie, not quite, but maybe soon
TBM 1
enough.
Charlie Lima winds are light and variable cleared for takeoff. Runway 06 left.
Like, you guys like the new voices? Very comical. At least they're not so robotic sounding.
Cleared for takeoff runway 06 left TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Landing lights. Put on the heaters. Line up here. I was planning on doing a rolling start, but let's line up properly. Do this the right way. 06 left. I see that on the runway. 06 left. Heading is consistent as well. Right. Torque. Set. Set the throttle for takeoff power. Here we go. Speed's alive. 90 knots is going to be our rotation speed. 90 knots, rotate. Bit heavy, there you go. Keep that coming. Positive rate. Tap the brakes, gear up. Keep your hand there and the landing gear knob until the landing gear is fully retracted. There we go, looking good. Flaps up. Yaw damper on. And up we climb up to 3,500 feet. Crash. V1 rotate. V crash. Hopefully not. You got it with Xbox Pass now for now to test.
TBM 1 Charlie,
Nice.
leave contact Montreal Center on 132.85. Enjoy your morning.
3285.
Center on 132.85 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Let's check in. TBM 1 Charlie Lima climbing 3,500 feet.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning.
Hey PDX,
Radar
glad you made it,
contact.
man. Touring Canada today. We have some tour guides with us. Just following the river. Saint something river. I forgot already what its name is. Looks like pretty clear skies. Inertial separator can go off. Let's go ahead and open. Show the wind information here, though. Looks like we have buggy weather again, because we have the consistent 225 at 3 knots. I really hate that. Here in the US, it's a very common thing. In Europe and even in Asia, I saw it. It's pretty good so far, normally. It's a bit weird. Slow down here. Let me catch up. There you go, Montreal Quebec Halifax. Currently just departed from Montreal, making her way northeast towards Quebec City. $20 a week to buy an Xbox. Nice. Are you guys up to date? Oh, that looks beautiful. Are you guys up to date with the Xbox Series X and S, was it? There seems to be a lot of hype with those as well. As always, I'm not really familiar with the updates when it comes to consoles, but those new generations seem very promising. The specs might be very close or even beating many of the PC specs nowadays. Getting next gen stuff. Hey Xarchus! Glad to see you here, man. Welcome back. Glad you made it. Feel free to leave me on your TV. Super excited to continue my on-air journey, but for now, we continue where we left off last week, exploring Canada, with our fancy tour guides guiding us along the way. Wave from below in Quebec City. We'll try and find your house, guide us towards it. 3:40 by 12th of December. Sounds like a good plan. That's the way to do it. Saving little by little, consistently. Alright. That looks good. Just trying to fly straight and level here. Looks good. Letting go of the yoke. Yeah, we are mostly level. I like that. That's more like it. Oh, that's a beautiful looking city. I remember we passed through here. We flew over in these areas last week as well. There should be the, what do you call it, old Expo Stadium or something somewhere along the way here to our left around 10 o'clock. 120 Amsterdam Street. That's Scotsman's full address? Yeah, I think so. Sure thing, man. No risks, I guess. Enjoy. Lurkers more than welcome. If anyone else that's lurking on the stream, no problemo. You know, speaking of lurkers, there was actually an incident I read because I'm subscribed to Kuwait Pilot in YouTube, and he did a stream recently for Flight Sim 2020, if I remember correctly. And he just posted something. He mentioned he had to take down the stream because apparently there was someone who joined the chat and they called him out, like they greeted him, but that person didn't want to be greeted. So he kind of complained to YouTube that they violated his privacy stuff. So that became an issue, and Kuwait Pilot just decided to pull down the stream, the footage, just to be on the safe side, to avoid any other conflicts. There you go. That, what do they call that again, guys? Exposed stadium kind of thing? Yeah, that's very weird, but that's also one good reason not to call out any of the people unless they speak out first. I wonder what the rules are there, like in YouTube policy, if that really violates any privacy things or whatnot. Because if you set your profile to public, especially if you speak out in chat, I would assume it should be safe to call you and recognize you, isn't it? It's a very nice looking intersection there. There also seems to be traffic in front of us. Let me turn on the traffic warnings from pilot to ATC. I think I disabled that. So when someone is close to us...
TVM1 Charlie Lima, you have traffic at 12 o'clock 2 miles at 4,500 feet.
We are looking, TVM1 Charlie Lima.
TVM1 Charlie Lima, for continued VFR advisories contact Montreal Center on 132.35. Have a nice day.
132.35 TBM1 Charlie Lima. Center TBM1 Charlie Lima at 3,500 feet.
TVM1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
We didn't see the traffic, weirdly enough. Wonder where it was.
TVM1 Charlie Lima, you have traffic at 2 o'clock 10 miles at 2,800 feet.
Looking, TVM1 Charlie Lima. If I see anything, it's kind of hard to spot guys over here. You know what I can do? Sync that heading, go to heading mode, go to autopilot in here, and VS our way down. There you go. Just so we go to altitude, hold at 3,500 feet. That would make it a lot easier for me to maneuver things. Then I can look around and enjoy the stuff more. So we can actually enjoy going outside.
TVM1 Charlie Lima, you have traffic at 2 o'clock 9 miles at 2,800 feet.
Looking, TVM1 Charlie Lima. I don't see anything. 9 miles. Oh, there is nothing. Right, let's go outside. It's a bit loud, sorry about that. Very interesting colors here, purple and blue. Not my favorite combination, but I'll take it. Pretty good weather here though, in Canada. In Montreal specifically. cockpit, everything good. Let's have a look at the map and do some proper sightseeing. See if there are other landmarks that we can spot. Parc de something. Of course, everything is in French now. We'll need the help of Scotsman here to pronounce stuff even. Should be a city right below us. Let's go to external mode again. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Vershare. No clue. St. Lawrence River. Exactly, up ahead. Looks like a pretty flat area here, huh? Very nice for sightseeing. Sorel. Coming up ahead. So at this rate, I wonder how long it will take to get to Quebec. Yeah, it's not too far away. We're already like 1/4 along the way already. And we can even speed up here. Not even pushing it. And we can slow down whenever we see something that is noteworthy. But until then, we just follow the river. And enjoy the view. It is a pretty huge river, huh? Where does it start? Well, it ends all the way into the Atlantic Ocean, but where does it start from here? In Lake Ontario? Is that correct? There's also a connection through here, which is Ottawa River, which stems all the way in from, I don't know, maybe some mountain. Interesting. Hey, blah, yar. How are things? Have you gotten into Animal Crossing yet? 230 knots, that should be okay. Still within the 250 knot speed limit. Below 10,000 feet. Should take us a lot faster to where we want to go though. Have you gone to this area before, Scotsman? The Quebec to Montreal route. Have you taken this one? Because there seems to be a highway on our left here. Which one is it? I think that one. It's much easier to follow the river though. It's a big river indeed. Still waiting for it to arrive. It takes a bit of time. What have you been doing in the meantime? That's okay. You'll need all the time you can get before that arrives. Because afterwards, bye. MFD here. It's like some mountainous areas in the north. Can we see that from here? Not really. But yeah, this wind problem right here is hopefully something that will be fixed in the next update, which it should be coming in a matter of months, I hope. We'll see. Kat is not happy with you for typing on her iPad. Mine. Where are those things? We have a look at the satellite imagery here. That should provide a little bit more context. Kid Air Service something. It's a company, I guess. I'll have a look at Discord. Yeah, I can do that now because I'm on autopilot.
Not a problem. There's just you and me out here at the time.
Should be a lot easier. I see it now. Yes, your cat is watching the stream. That's a nice photo. She seems to be enjoying. That's good. The highway on the other side of the river is Highway 40. It goes from Quebec City to the Ontario border. Ah, there you go. I am excited to check it out, PDX. Let me know how you like it. Let's go and find that. I do see it on the map. And that is right there, supposedly, that Highway 40. That line right there. Very near, very close to the river. So we should see it soon here. Let's try to follow both the river and the highway. The update in Reforma seems pretty interesting. Usually the file structure doesn't change much, but this case, it seems like the entire Mexico Extremo disappeared or was swallowed whole by Chihuahua, something along those lines. And then Viva Mexico is now just optional, which is something I am really liking because, to be honest, I'm not very much into the Viva Mexico areas. They're a bit dated and not optimized, so I don't like driving through them. So if you can get past that area, that would be great. 2 months since the last update. Yeah, that's true. Last month, Eblem put on hold his Patron page, basically, because he said he wouldn't be able to provide an update. Now it's here though. Whew. That's bright. Man, I love the lighting in this game, in this sim. This looks so real. Fools me sometimes. My wallpaper at work for my work laptop, it's actually the TBM 930 above clouds. It looks so real, the lighting. There you go, that's Highway 40. Let's get into proper heading here. Should see it on our left. There you go. Highway 40, getting closer and closer to the river. Some nice bridges there, would be nice to take a photo of. I wonder if Promotes Canada would reach this part. Guess it might be a bit too far from the beginning, huh? I think they were planning on extending, what, north of Washington first, so west of Canada. Where we are is on the opposite side already, right? Almost to the east. There is an airport coming up ahead. Charlie Yankee Romeo Quebec is easier to pronounce than this place. Trois-Rivières. Probably nowhere near how that's supposed to be read, but hopefully you got the point. We're actually halfway there already. That's quick. And this TBM is just such a monster when it comes to this. This is why this is the most favorite plane in Flight Sim 2020. It is just the perfect balance of power and joy of flying. It's not like a beast that just goes out of control with how fast it is. Rather, it has that huge range where it can go very slow, very much like a small GA plane, but you can go super fast as well, very close to how jets fly, somewhere in the middle. So it's perfect for all-purpose flying, whether you want to do like visual flights like this and just enjoy the scenery, or do proper IFR flights traveling huge distances. Now the highway here seems a bit weird. Doesn't look very fleshed out. Looks more like grass with like faded areas. But I can get behind. There's the airport that I tried to pronounce. Well, yeah. Okay, you're familiar with that? Okay, apparently that's a city. Okay, and that's the airport of Trois-Rivières. Just trying and failing how to pronounce these things. So that's the airport, and that's the city right next to it with the same name. Let's go back and trace the river again. But it's just so nice how accurate these things can get. I've seen a lot of these pictures over at the different forums comparing how real life looks from an aircraft and then doing that in Flight Sim and getting a very, very close representation. So close sometimes that it's so hard to find which is the correct, which is the real life picture and which is the one from the sim. It's that close at times. Super cool. Bridge there. Generic looking bridge, so I doubt that's really how it looks like. With bridges, they still have a lot to go though. Bridges and ships. Those are often either sunk underneath or put in a generic model like this. Means 3 rivers. And it's 3 rivers because 1 is St. Lawrence River, 2 is that river right there, which is called St. Maurice River. And what's the third one? Is there somewhere to the south? Maybe? I'm not sure what's the third river. Interesting. That bridge doesn't look like that IRL. Makes sense. Is this an airport again? No, it's more like a road network. Key Bridge in Baltimore looked flat and bare too. Yeah, the AI still needs to be developed in that regard, I think. You still need to put a proper bridge logic in, which is kind of hard, I can imagine, because each bridge can look very unique. And putting in
TBM1 Charlie Lima for continued VFR advisories. Contact Montreal Center on 128.22. Have a good one.
Center on 128.22 DBM1 Charlie Lima.
Air Canada 107, 13522.
Center TBM1 Charlie Lima, 3,500 feet. Did they not hear us? Center TBM1 Charlie Lima at 3,500 feet.
TBM1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
No steel towers or anything. Yeah. I wonder how they'll make that work if they have plans for that at all. I'm very much a bridge guy, but I don't know how they can automate that kind of thing. They would definitely need something more than satellite imagery, I would imagine. They would need to have like photogrammetry of that exact bridge to have an idea how it should look like. And I guess those are more rare to come by. Golden Gate. The Golden Gate, I can imagine, would have been custom made, because it's one of those famous ones globally. But I haven't been there yet. Looks like lots of fields here. Highway 40 is still over there. That's that road right there. In Canada, you guys have a lot of like toll gates, like in France, or is it more like Germany, where it's everything is, how do you say, paid by taxes maybe? All right, Jack. Why does that GG not work for you? That's weird. Have a good night. Catch you next time, man. Hope we can fly next time. We'll see. Good luck. Don't have many tolls. That's good to hear. How are we doing on here? Inertial separator is off. Landing lights are on still because we are below 10,000 feet. Everything else looking pretty good. No worries, plenty of fuel, everything in the green. I'm pretty interested how ATC will give us instructions for landing, for approach. I bet they'll ask us to join the pattern or something along those lines. That one is quite a common bug. When there is a mismatch in the water levels, then there tends to be that gap, like waterfall kind of thing. That looks very artificial. And when you get closer to that, then that kind of elevation difference crawls along the way. I don't quite get it, but yeah, probably something to be refined still. But I would say visually, the world generation wise, it's fine as it is. Of course, it will never be 100% perfect, but I would guess it's like 90% there. I would rather they focus on the actual flight simulation elements, because there is a huge gap still. I would say we're only at roughly 30 or 40% maybe. Very lacking in that department. That's why I'm staying away from the larger planes, because they are quite disappointing, to be frank. But hopefully with the upcoming patch, that will change. We'll see. They have more express toll lanes that mainly in Ontario. I see. Send you a toll in the mail. That's interesting. How do they know where to send it? Based on the registration of the car, I guess. What I would have assumed is something like we would have a device, and that would be either synced to your credit card, your bank account, or you would put some credits in that, and that's where the load will be consumed. Seems like such a hassle to send it via mail, and can be open to inaccuracies, I can imagine. Hey Rohan, glad you made it. How have you been? Have you been flying? Hey Shadow Tom, thanks for joining. How are you? Are you also a flight sim fan? It's all read by your plate. Ah, interesting. But that's good. At least you don't need a separate device for it. Nothing today. Doing good. Excited for the release of those 3080 benchmarks. We'll see how that goes. Right here, Tom. Pretty calm winds here. Not sure if this is realistic. I doubt it.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, you have traffic at 1 o'clock 10 miles at 7,600 feet.
Looking, TBM 1 Charlie Lima. Let me turn off that traffic advisory because it's quite a hassle at the moment. It's it's so hard to see them anyway. What I'm expecting is they transfer us to tower very soon though, so let me move on to that chart here. Should be near the town of Port, how do you read that? Port Neuf and Donnacona. I don't quite see them here. But if you point them out, I might be able to spot them. So tower frequency should be 108.65. Let's put that on standby. As we get closer, I guess around
TBM 1 Charlie Lima,
away.
expect landing runway 24 at Jean Lesage International.
24.
Expect runway 24 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
24 would have a 241 degree heading. Looks good. We can follow that in. Airport is straight ahead. Based on the GPS, 19 miles away. TI versions, yeah, that's true. Might be better. 3080 Ti or 3080 Super sounds like a good deal. We'll see. Alright, let's follow what pilot ATC will give us as instructions. I-95 in US Route 50. Oh, I mean with the... In Washington State, you can either buy a pass and save money. If you don't have a pass, it sends you a bill to whatever address the license plate on your car is registered to. Ah, yeah, that was what I was expecting. More the former than the latter. 10 gig would not be enough. Yeah, I guess 10 gig would be enough today. But a year, 2 years from now, probably not, huh? There should be a plane right in front of us. Do I see anybody? Maybe he's above. Normally, if this is a proper map, you would see actually the altitude there. If it's plus or minus, how high or how low that plane is in comparison to us. 3090, yeah, that will solve everything. Just go for broke. That's a possible solution as well. Nearly there. Sure looks like it. There's this is the one, I think. Neuville or Noiville, the airport. But that's not where we're landing.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima. You are 11 nautical miles from Jean Lesage International. Radar service terminated. Contact tower on 118.65. Enjoy your morning.
We got it. 118.65 TBM 1 Charlie Lima. And now my browser source has failed me. Can you guys let me know if the chat window is still working? Tower TBM 1 Charlie Lima at 3,500 feet.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
Hey, kamusta?
QNH is 1024.
How are you, man? Thanks for joining. It works? Okay, great. Yeah, because my preview does not anymore. I was hoping that was due to lack of RAM, and now that I have plenty, that would be gone. Looks like it's not. But let me refresh it. Okay, there we go. It is refreshing. Thank you. I got my screen back. Oh, there's the plane. You guys see? Traffic. Inbound for runway... what is that? Opposite runway. Runway 06 is where he's landing. So we can decide to land now, or we can explore Quebec City. Do you have any particular... I guess you would want to find your house, right? There's the airport. Tower TBM 1 Charlie Lima request.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, this is Quebec Tower on 118.65. Please repeat your request.
I wonder if I need to even, because it's not really a radar service, so I assume I can just do my stuff here, descend if I want to, or go to the altitude I want. So let's go down to 1,500 feet so we have some better views of the city, and when we would like to land already, then we can get in touch with tower again. Land and then city tour. The problem is when we land, when we take off next, it will be an IFR flight, so we'll have to be more strict with the flight plan. So I think it will be better if we maximize the VFR conditions, the VFR flight that we're doing for now. It is a bridge, that's why I'm heading towards it. I saw it and it looked very interesting, looked different than the others. Quebec City is right there, where we're looking at. Everybody look for Scotsman's house. 1,500 feet. There's the bridge, looking pretty generic, unfortunately. Let's level off at 1,500 feet here. Slow it down. That bridge is looking pretty generic. We live in the suburbs. Close enough, we can find it. 120 Amsterdam Street. I am continuing to descend here though. It's not something I'd like. Let's climb here. Looks like the city, downtown area is over here. Might be some more buildings we can see. There it is. If it's loaded in yet, that is. Does seem a bit strange, that leveling. Is that really how it is? Like there's a huge cliff there? A gap between the river and the land? Or is that more of a geographical inconsistency? I do love how this looks, my goodness. Put so many trees in and anything looks so good. Even if it's just a couple of random buildings. Trying to trim here. that looks nice. Slowly starting to get colder. Quebec Bridge and Pierre Laporte Bridge side by side. I guess those look very different, huh? That cliff is there in real life. Oh, that's cool. Nice attention to detail. They got that. Very nice to see all these different buildings as well. And yeah, it looks like a full-on cliff in here. Let's turn off the FD, flight director. Very nice look. There even are ships there. You don't see that often in here in this sim. Cool. And there's that, I don't know what that is. It doesn't look like fully downloaded yet, still a bit low res looking. But there seems to be a lot of custom stuff here. 1 second guys. Let's go and check that. If I turn on POI, will we actually see something? POI markers.
28.8, Compass 5696.
Oh, not really. Oh. That's what's happening. Am I doing a nosedive in here? Chateau Frontenac. Why does that sound so familiar? Might have seen that in a movie or something. Let's go ahead and turn on inertial separate. Oh my goodness, I have the bug, guys. I have the bug. So nothing is responding. So at least the flight controls are still working, but all the buttons are not. They say what you do is just do this and it should work, but no. Okay, that doesn't really work. Oh, there we go. Now it works. Yes, there you go. Just a bit delayed. Sometimes it's lagging.
Air Canada left to 7 wind calm, clear takeoff runway 23.
Have to open ATC and move the thing around. VATSIM soon? Probably not. At least not until they fix the systems. I cannot have my airplane leaving me in the dust while I'm fumbling around and getting nervous with communicating with ATC. I need at least one of those to be reliable. Otherwise it will be too much for me. Common bug. It's weird, huh? There you go. Oh yeah, now we're falling again. Cannot seem to maintain that 1500 feet. It seems to be slowing down my system, so I hope things are downloading. Because I do want to see this area. Zoom in here. Fairmont Le Chateau Frontenac. That's the hotel that Scotsman was saying. That's pretty cool. Man, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? And it does look like it's adding even more definition in now. That is pretty nice. There it is. Awesome. Control your plane. Spending too much time sightseeing. Nice. How about this one? How about these buildings right here? I see them. Group Ocean. I guess it's the port. That's the port, indeed. Nice. Love that junction. Now if we can trim properly so we can level our flight here. There it is. That's much calmer. Still not perfect, but getting there. There you go. There's the airport. Right, let's do the approach. Now I'm not sure how I join the pattern actually. Let me try and see what we can request from ATC. Request approach. Last one.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima inbound at 1,600 feet for landing on the active.
TBN 1 Charlie Lima Roger radar contact. Report left downwind for runway 24.
24. So that's 241. So what we can actually do is cross midfield. Let's climb a bit here. Airport elevation is 244, so we climb to 2044. 2100, let's put it. And we'll cross the midfield and then join the runway 24 downwind. I guess that is a bit more feasible. Actually, this is the airport already. And the runway 24 is that way, so actually what I can do is circle the airport, I guess. I'm not actually sure how they do it properly, but I can do that. Set our flaps here one notch just to slow us down so I can control the plane easier. There's the airport. We are 2,000 feet above it. Should be safe. So we overfly it. I guess that's mainly they have something they call it. Someone in the YouTube comments told me about that, but I guess you only do this for airports which don't have a tower. When you are looking at the runway, looking at the weather, the condition of the runway, finding the windsock and things like that. But in this case, I doubt it's applicable. But nonetheless, you should see the runway right there. That's runway 06. Over on that point, 24 is over here. So what we'll do is we'll just maintain this, and then we'll make a U-turn, so to speak. In real life, the airport is in renovation as you speak. Expansion even. Oh, nice. Is this how it looks already, or should it be bigger now with the expansion?
Maple 7650, line up and wait, runway 23. Wait, runway 23, Maple 7650.
Right, let's turn around. Find it hard getting the right landing strip. That is pretty much a challenge, that's true. I mean, even with head tracking, it's still challenging. There's the airport in all its beauty. Not bad at all. There's runway 24. So let's cross through here, bisect it, maintain 2,000 feet above. TBM 1 Charlie Lima, turning left downwind, runway 24.
TBN 1 Charlie Lima call turning final for runway 24.
Looking good. Almost on downwind leg now. There is downwind leg.
7650.
Start descending here. Landing gear down. Giffy. Gear is down. Inertial separator is on. Flaps are not yet full. I'll take care of that later. Yaw damper is off. Looking good. Let's continue on. Let's continue our descent to around 1,200 feet. Hey DH, thanks for dropping by, man. Appreciate it. Guess it must be pretty late there, huh? You were doing those with A320. Yeah, I saw that in Discord. Must be quite interesting doing VFR with the A320.
Canada 881, contact Brown 1219.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima turning base. Runway 24.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, winds are 266 at 5 knots, cleared to land runway 24.
Clear to land runway 24, TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima negative. You are cleared to land on runway 24.
That's what I said. Clear to land runway 24, TBM 1 Charlie Lima. There is the runway. Where is it? There it is. We are kind of low, so let's play with that a bit.
Jet 955, come up overhead, cure.
Full flaps here. Alright, Giffy, gear, inertial separator, flaps, yaw damper, we are good. What we are not good at is the speed. Should maintain 85 knots approach speed. There you go. Turning in here. There it is. Junction is accurate. Which one? Just passed it. Under construction. How about the airport? Is it also under construction like this? Right now the airport looks properly built, but maybe the under construction part is not yet being done. I am high. I have 4 white lights here, so let's try to descend faster a bit by lessening the power. There we go. Back up. Wind is a bit bumpy, but shouldn't be too violent. Bit low now. There you go. Alright. Continue that approach. Just keep it there. Using my peripheral vision for the flare. Left rudder a bit. There we go.
TBN 1 Charlie Lima, exit runway when able.
We are still a bit too fast here. There should be another taxiway. Smooth. Thank goodness the weather was good. No, I am not finding another taxiway though. But that's okay. Let's just continue forward. Bienvenue à Quebec. Thank you for the tour. Love it here already. Wish I could go here in real life someday. Put in anyone? Me. I've never tried it. Can I cross this one? I hope so. I wonder how that works with these airports that have crossing runways. If you're landing like this and you end up on the other, I guess it should be fine to cross it because you've been cleared to use that runway. Or would you have to hold short before that and you would have to be given clearance to cross it? Be interesting. Set the flaps up. Turn off the heaters here. We'll turn off here on this taxiway hotel, and then we'll get instructions from ground. Let's do this properly. Ground should be 121.9.
Charge morning, Chaz 134 on the visual for 30.
Chaz 134.
So let's plug that in already. 1219. Standby. After we cross this area right here, this line, then we'll tell tower that we are clear of the active. And we'll stop right here. TBM 1 Charlie Lima, clear of active.
TBN 1 Charlie Lima, welcome to Jean Lesage International Contact Ground on 121.9er. Have a good morning.
121.9er, good morning. TBM 1 Clumsy Charlie Lima. Leave that there. 1 Clumsy Lima. You taxi like you drive your MAN. That doesn't sound good. Alright. Ground TBM 1 Charlie Lima. Request taxi to General Aviation Ramp. Will they understand? Hey Waldo. I am Filipino. Yes. Now there should be a voice here, but somehow it's not reading anything. But it does say something here. TBM 1 Charlie Lima, taxi to General Aviation Parking via taxiways Golf, runway 12, runway 6 Alpha, Golf, cross runway 11. Where is GA parking? That's a good question. Not sure, maybe it's that one. But yeah, Golf is here. And hold short runway 11 and runway 24. I have no idea. Meant as a compliment. That's good. Thanks. I did not have my taxi lights though, my landing lights though, that was bad. Yeah, that's a bit of a weird taxi instruction. What we'll just do is we'll just taxi anywhere. We'll wait for ground to clear us to cross this runway though, but yeah, we're taking Golf right here. Normally they wouldn't be using both if they cross like that. Ah, that's very true. There's only one active runway. That would make a lot of sense. You live in Angeles. Oh, that's nice. Have you flown there yet? Have you found your house? It's an amazing sim. Perfect for sightseeing. The expansion was done in 2017. Ah, I see. So this should include the expansion already. Yeah. Can you back it into a dock? Oh my goodness, please no. The memories are coming back. Clear to cross runway 29er. Yeah. Somehow the voice is not working.
Cleared to cross runway 29 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Let's cross here. And we'll just stop somewhere nearby. Clear to the left, clear to the right. Moving forward. Yes, all English. I don't have a big Filipino audience, unfortunately. Most of the people we have are from different parts of the globe, so it makes more sense to stick to English. Gamepad isn't working, the aileron's so hard to go where you want. Might need a bit of tuning in there. Yeah, it does need a bit of calibration. It doesn't work out of the bat. It's a bit finicky with the controls in the beginning until you find that sweet spot. and then afterwards it's going to be great. But yeah, the initial part, the initial setup, it is not smooth. I would suggest looking for the official Microsoft Flight Sim forums. A lot of people are having trouble with their peripherals there as well, and there are a couple of suggestions on how to fix that. You might find the exact problem you're encountering and the solution for that already. There's Rohan right there, parked on the ramp, on the stand. I'm still confused with all these terminologies. Park, stand, ramp, mountains up ahead. Oh yeah, that's a good call indeed. And my browser just crashed again. Let me know if the chat is still working. Just refresh that. There we go, the GA ramp. This looks like GA parking to me. Where is the entrance though? Guess anywhere here would be fine. It works great in settings, but when flying you can't turn. I've had that similar problem in my rudder. I don't know how I managed to fix it in the end, but I ended up like calibrating my rudder pedals outside in Windows 10, and then just going to default settings everywhere and then trying it out. But yeah, tried all sorts of different combinations. It's not a very pleasant experience. Someone holding the stick there for us? That guy, okay. So we can probably loop around here. It might be a Steam thing. Ah, it could be. I don't actually use the Steam version. I'm in the Microsoft Store version, so it might be a bit different. There he is. It's a bit hard, yeah. It's sticky brakes. I don't actually see him anymore.
09 as you're turning final, there would be helicopter just on your right side, I think.
Ah, that should be good enough. Good. Alright. Actually, we can leave that running because we are planning our second leg. Normally you'd need to shut things down and everything, but just for ease of use, so we're faster, we can plan this separately. Okay, so what I can do is turn off track IR for now so it doesn't keep fumbling around. So now the next leg that we are planning, guys, is the leg going from Quebec to Halifax, right? I'm using high-end preset, and then I think I just set the SSAO to medium. But yeah, mostly high-end preset. I tried fumbling around with the settings, but I end up just going back there. Right, so let's start a new flight. Departing from Charlie Yankee Quebec Bravo to... Oh my goodness, what is the ICAO code for Halifax? I know it starts with Charlie. One second. Little nav map might help with that. One second, huh? Okay.
Target update 251. 251 Vancouver 12508, Canada 3004, number 2 is 5 travel 321, 7 runway 266. Random traffic here, 251.
Good. That is the ideal world, that's true, Waldo, but Yeah, there is just so much functionality that not everything can be built into the same sim. That's the dream though. That's true. That is the dream. But right now we have to resort to creative ways of doing things. Thanks, Scotsman. Hotel Zulu. Alright, DH. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. Catch you again next time.
Yeah, contact M1217.
TBM9. Looking good there. Use bounds. Alright. Let's generate that. I have triple monitor setup here and everything is filled with windows for flight planning and all the other applications. It's it's at the moment it's still required to get that very nice experience, otherwise it's still a bit lacking. Okay, there's the flight plan. Flight level 290 is going to be our cruising altitude. It will take us, how long will it be? 1 hour and 42 minutes. That seems perfect. If needed, we can accelerate that a bit. But that seems perfect for what we need. So let's follow that. What I can do is download the FMS here. Actually, you know what? No, I'll do it the old school way. I'll just copy the route here. Go into pilot to ATC. This is another third-party application and this is paid. Paste the flight plan that I got from SimBrief. Looks like we'll not be using any SID or star. That's fine. Should be flight level 290. Let's wait for that to kick in. There you go. And the ground speed should be 318 knots. Alright, runway 24, runway 05. That looks good. Alright, so let's validate that. And IFR, okay, good. File it. Looks like, okay, we'll be given an RNAV approach. RNAV 05, that's the flight plan. If I zoom out, that's how it looks like. It does say we get there in 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's a good thing. We'll see if that holds true. Okay. GPS. Yes, in some way. Not sure what you are referring to. Which GPS, but I am using it in multiple ways. Trying to remember if that is. Let me move this here for now. So I'm going to plug this in manually because they say this is a much better way of entering the flight plan instead of starting from the main menu. It's less bugged this way. Direct to Pinte. They don't even have this? No, they do. Okay, good. Destination would be Charlie Yankee Hotel Zulu, Halifax International. That's good. That's a bit weird. We lost our waypoint. Okay, let's add that in again. Maybe it should be origin first, then destination, and then add the waypoints in the middle. Makes sense. Okay, good. Direct hull. The hull should be probably that one, which is nearer. And direct Lokri. There you go. Direct Yankee Hotel Zulu. That's probably a VOR. It is. And then direct to the airport. Looking good. So if we zoom that out, we can't really zoom it step by step, but that sequence looks pretty close to this one. Hull, Lockery, Halifax VOR. Okay, looks good. We'll see how that goes. And in Navigraph, this is another third-party application and a different subscription. Flight simming is a very expensive hobby, my goodness. We synchronize with the flight plan from SimBrief, and from here we can get the list of charts, get the airport chart in there. Well, for now that's the only one we need. The rest we take care of later. Runway 24 is pretty close, so we probably will be given a Delta and Echo taxiway instruction. Use direct to airport in the GPS with autopilot. Ah, yes. Yeah. That is what we did here initially, and then we added some waypoints in between to make it a bit more realistic, because we almost never get that airport to airport direct instruction. Alright. We will need to tune into clearance here. I don't think there is though. Maybe it's just ground. Okay. Let's go and request for clearance. This route takes us into Maine. Oh, good catch. Alright, then let's see if we'll be able to do some if the clouds aren't thick enough, maybe we can see below. Ground TBM 1 Charlie Lima, ready to copy IFR clearance. Oh, the ground is still bugged. I cannot hear the voice. I can see it though. You can hear the static. Charlie Yankee Hotel Zulu is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet is what they gave us as initial altitude clearance. Expect higher clearance 2 minutes after departure.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima is cleared to Charlie Yankee Hotel Zulu is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 6116. QNH is 1024 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
18, there will be a couple minute delay here. I got an IFR approach on runway 13, should be no more than about 2 minutes.
Okay, so we are good in terms of fuel though. Let's double check that the fuel and the payload is proper. Times and weight, so what I'll do is I'll go here to the fuel. It says here that the fuel should be 1.1. Let's switch to pounds here. Fuel right now is 609 pounds, should be 1.1. It's based on the plan, there you go. And the payload is 1.4. It's actually a pretty heavy load that it's building for us. Almost a full plane. That one. Yeah. Pretty close to max takeoff weight. Nice. So takeoff weight should be 7.0. It's a bit different here. Let's reduce the payload a bit so we match that. Something like that. Alright, that looks good. Alright, off we go. Let's request taxi.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima ready to taxi.
Won't fly near your house on the way. Delay of 2 minutes. Where? What delay are we talking about?
Taxi to runway 24 via taxiways Delta Echo. Hold short runway 24 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
As expected, we got a Delta and Echo taxi instruction. The problem is these two guys are not going anywhere, so I think we'll have to do some evasive maneuvers, or we just close our eyes and hope that no one sees what's going to happen. Nothing's happening, guys. we are clear. Taxi lights are on. Flaps for takeoff. This is taxiway Delta. Echo should be that one turning on the left. And we should be reaching runway 24 afterwards. Delay of a few minutes because of IRFR. They didn't say delay, maybe it sounded a bit like that though. They were basically giving us the clearance on where we should be going. Great to hear, Scotsman. Happy to have you guys. Proper tour guides, otherwise I would be clueless in this area.
Tower on 118.65 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Right, hopefully this time the tower has proper voicing. Cancel. Transfer. Tower TBM 1 Charlie Lima, ready for departure, runway 24.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, winds are 256 at 5 knots, cleared for takeoff. Runway 24, maintain runway heading until above 1,200 feet, then turn left heading 0906 to intercept course.
0906, let's have them read that back.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 24, maintain runway heading until above 1,200 feet, then left to 0906 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
1,200 feet and turn left. Okay, gotcha. Random chatter. Ah, okay, I see. I see what you mean. Runway is clear on the right. Clear on the left. No other traffic. That's good. Let's line up here properly. Do a proper takeoff this time. If we can. Runway 24. That's good. Set torque to 50%. Looking good. Takeoff power is set. And it's trying to maintain center line right here. 241 degrees. She wants to already fly. I think my trims are not properly set. Might be a bit too high. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Tap the brakes first. Keep the hand there until the landing gear is fully enunciated as retracted. Keeping runway heading here. Landing gear looks good. Flaps can go up. Yaw damper can go on. Flight director can go on. Once we hit 1,200 feet, we turn left to 096 as instructed by ATC. Looking good right there. Let's keep that climb. Yep. Even the small planes can be...
TBN 1 Charlie Lima, climb and maintain 1,000 feet, contact Montreal Center on 135.02. Have a good morning.
One sec, I'll get back to you.
Climb and maintain 1,000 feet, center on 135.02 dBm 1 Charlie Lima.
Looking good. 135.02. 096. TBM 1 Charlie Lima, climbing to flight level 110.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning.
I'm not sure if I said that correctly,
contact.
but she got me, so that's okay. Inertial separator can go off. So we intercept the waypoint there, and now we're going into nav mode. I'm gonna go autopilot here. There we go. Alright, so yes, even small airplanes can be granted access to bigger airports, although it is a bit more challenging, I think. From the videos I've seen, they seem to need to coordinate with the airport a lot. Like call in advance or maybe get clearance, as long as they get clearance. But yeah, sometimes they call in advance because like the busy airports, they would not normally cater to the smaller planes. But if you call in advance and ask for and give them a heads up and they say okay, then yes, it can work. I've seen like Cessna 172s, these very small planes, land on very busy airports like, I don't know, like JFK maybe. But I've seen some videos on that, so it is possible, but probably not a normal sight you see. Set that up via VS maybe? There you go. Orleans Island. Which one? This one? Or in the left? Let me have a look at the map. Oh yeah, this one. Isle de Orleans, it says. Cool. Good spot. What can you find there normally? Looking good. What is the transition altitude here? Not sure in Canada what it is. In the US it's 18,000 feet when you cross from to flight levels. Let's have a look at some of the charts. Agriculture mostly, major tourist spot. All of North America is 18,000 feet. Ah, thank you. Then I said that wrong. Should be at 11,000 feet a while ago. We're climbing to 11,000 feet. Thanks, Incarnate. Thanks for joining the stream. We are in Canada indeed. 10,000
GBM 1 Charlie Lima climb and maintain 17,000 feet.
17,000 feet, DBM 1 Charlie Lima. Well, keep that climb going. Looking pretty good. And yes, it looks like a much better weather right now compared to last time. Last time we were thick with clouds. We are headed to Halifax. Should be around an hour's flight. We'll see how much we can get from there. Right, so we are out from the airport now. This is our flight plan. We'll be passing through Maine indeed. So we'll actually be crossing into the US, is that it? Because the border between US and Canada, I guess, is that line there. Interesting. I wonder how that works in real life. I guess that's a possibility. Cross into different airspaces. Nice. And once we get to Halifax, we'll need to have some charts in here, I would imagine. Airport at the very least. Halifax, Stanfield International, looks like that. Crossing runways. 2 runways. Runway 05 is probably going to be our approach. We'll see if that changes later based on the weather. Nice. You are allowed. Okay, that's good. Follow the river to Newfoundland or Prince Edward Island. We can at the very least look at that in the map. So if we start in Quebec, right here, follow the river to Newfoundland or Prince Edward Island. So you mean this one? Oh yeah, Prince Edward Island is here. Newfoundland is where?
TBM 1 Charlie Lima climb and maintain flight level 230.
Flight level 230, TBM 1 Charlie Lima. Good, keep that climb going. Let's go back to the map. What network am I on? This is actually Pilot ATC. It's offline, so I'm working with a robot as air traffic controllers, which is perfect for me, so I don't need to get shy and I can fly anywhere, anytime, and pause the sim as I like. Less pressure for me. I actually did not update my flight plan here. Yeah, that's okay. Just do that kind of thing right there. You mind that speaking every now and again? That's XATC chatter. That's just random chatter to make stuff more realistic sounding. It's pretty cool, right? It doesn't really mean anything. There's no plane in the sim like that, but it's good enough to be believable. That looks good there. Let's keep that in the background. Her cat is really cute. I definitely agree. Very nice photos. For those who want to see Mr. PDX's cat enjoying the stream, check out the Discord server. !Discord gets you there. More than welcome to join and hang out with us and discuss more flight sim, truck sim, and tech stuff. Thanks, Scotsman. You're more familiar with areas along the river. I see. Yeah, that would be a more scenic route, that's true. Let me go out of the screen for a bit. It will get a bit noisy, guys, so heads up. That is beautiful, my goodness. The satellite imagery here is pretty high resolution. Is amazing. Second or third time you've seen the cat watching your stream. That's true. That is true.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290, TBM 1 Charlie Lima. I'm actually enjoying using my voice again, much easier sometimes for shorter responses. As long as the recognition can recognize my voice. Oh, here we are again. This always happens. Have to dump some of the pressurization. It's a bit weird. I guess when you're climbing at this rate, it gets a bit too much at times. Newfoundland is an island. Let's look for it. So Newfoundland I found is Prince Edward Island is this one. Newfoundland, is it this one? There is a small airport here, interesting. This one is Anticosti National Park. Oh, this one, yeah, it's a big one, Newfoundland, indeed. So if we have traveled from Quebec following the river, we would have been able to see that Anticosti National Park, Newfoundland here, and Prince Edward Island here. Is there like a coast or a cruise in real life going through the river and going through that route? That would be a very scenic one, huh? Nice. Hey Swappy, glad you made it, man. How have you been? Enjoying flying? It's also a province, I see. There's a ferry between New Brunswick and Newfoundland. I see. Okay, so it's like Nova Scotia. It's one of Canada's provinces. Is that accurate, or did I get that completely wrong? Did I remember it wrong again? New Brunswick. Ah, okay, I see it. I see. Here we go again. Need to dump the pressurization. Find that really weird. Hey! Thank you for the massive raid. Welcome everybody. Thank you, Digital Engineer. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining everybody. Oh no. Here we go. On a good day you can see whales. Maybe we'll get lucky. Thanks for joining, guys. We are doing a flight in Canada, starting from Quebec, making our way to Nova Scotia, and just about to reach our cruising altitude of flight level 290. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Hope you enjoy your stay. Feel free to join us in chat or lurk away. More than welcome either way. That is a very subtle climb. It's very nice. And that's what I found. If you go vertical speed, it tends to be much smoother than going flight level change. Normally when you FLC all the way to your cruising altitude, flight level 290 in our case, when you reach that point, it would just like bob up and down until you get there. So this is looking much better. It's nice. Cool.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, contact Montreal Center on 125.1. Enjoy.
125.1 TBM 1 Charlie Lima. Center TBM 1 Charlie Lima at flight level 290.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
That's a bit bugged. That should be a different voice. Interesting, I'll have to look into that. Server issues on air are resolved. Indeed, yes. They have upgraded already, so it looks to be pretty stable now. I'm excited to do more episodes there in the coming days, weeks. Charlotte to Columbus, Muni. There we go. We'll put that in the list on. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, I'm really liking On Air, although it is a subscription service, but it looks to be pretty good so far. Developers are very active. And of course we would have a lot of pessimists because of the subscription service. But so far it's looking pretty well. Alright, let's have a look outside. Might get a bit noisy, guys. Oh, that is beautiful. I have not yet done the check rides, but maybe soon, because I do want to fly a turboprop.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, contact Boston Center on 120.25. Have a good morning.
120.25 TBM 1 Charlie Lima. Good morning. Boston Center, so we're crossing over to the US now. Is that it? Center TBM 1 Charlie Lima at flight level 290.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
This is Pilot to ATC, an offline ATC application. That's how it looks. It uses synthesized voices and speech recognition, so you can kind of talk to it if you like. Or you can use speech assistant as well to plug in the commands and have them say it for you, so you don't need to use your mic if you don't like it. It's pretty good. I really like it. It's perfect because you can pause anytime. You can have full ATC coverage anywhere you go, even if you go to Asia or some remote parts. I have some videos in the YouTube channel if you are interested in checking this out in more detail. It is paid though, and it is pretty pricey for its function, but for me it's very much worth it. The check ride is mandatory if you are transitioning to a new aircraft type, like single engine to multi-engine piston, or single engine piston to single engine turboprop. But I think in the beginning you already have the single engine piston certification, so I haven't done check rides yet. I am very interested in trying it though. That's very true, Swappy. Flight sim is an expensive hobby. I've been exposed to it since the last year or so, and yes, I have accepted that bitter fact. So my wallet has no choice. A lot of people really enjoy VATSIM, Pilot Edge, IVEO, and I would want to get into that eventually, but I'm a bit of an introvert, a shy guy, and I tend to fly in areas where oftentimes there is no ATC coverage, like in the Philippines. So oftentimes I don't get the full experience and I get too scared to talk anyway. So for me, having an offline ATC works the best. And also when Mrs. Clumsy calls me, I can just pause without fear of like hanging up and holding up the servers or not responding to a real person behind the air traffic control. So if you have those needs, Pilot to ATC would be perfect. In comparing that with the built-in ATC of Flight Sim 2020, it is much more powerful. It's synchronized with Navigraph, so you have all the procedures properly built in. It has all the instructions for vectoring, following procedures, altitude instructions, and all that stuff. And it's a constant work in progress. The developer, Dave, is very active in supporting the issues. So highly recommend it for those of you guys with the same use case. Hey, super fartastic. I like the name. Thank you for subbing, man. Appreciate it. Feel free to join us in Discord. Make sure to also sync up your Twitch account there to get the perks. You get access to an exclusive channel where I sometimes feature behind the scenes stuff, things I'm working on, and you have like direct upload for image benefits and other small stuff as a token of my gratitude. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. That's great. Glad you are into Microsoft Flight Sim as well. PCA has been out of stock for quite a while, I think. Rohan has been really getting itchy legs with that. Nice on-air vid, great to hear. I was really happy with on-air also. It was so nice flying the Cessna 172 for longer periods, for a longer distance. I kind of feel like Aviation 101, if you know him, in YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is Aviation 101. Name is Josh Flowers. He flies a Cessna 172 all across the US. And I learn a lot from him, and he's very inspiring. So anything he does that is remotely similar to what I can do, it's a cool thing. If Microsoft Flight Sim in on-air and ATC. Yes, I have the same preference. I like to fly by myself, more on the single player aspect. In my recent video from yesterday, I did just that. I flew with on-air. I had pilot to ATC. I had Navigraph charts. So all in all, like a full IFR flight with the Cessna 172. You can check out the video, see how the integration is, and there are timestamps there if you want to jump to a specific section. Exclamation point YouTube gets you there, guys, if you are not there yet. Hey Swampy, thank you for 7 months, man. Really appreciate the constant support. And thanks for sharing your flight sim adventures with us as well. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to more on-air adventures with full, as much as possible, full procedures. Let me have a look outside for a bit. This area is not as detailed as the previous one. Are we in Maine already? Let's have a look at the map where we are, guys. We are in Maine. Anyone familiar with this area? Looks like there's a mountain right there. Mount Katahdin on the right. Let's see if we can spot it. How high is that, I wonder? Hamlin Peak. If we change our overlay here, will we get something? There should be a topographic thing. Trying to see if I can find something here. Open topo map, this one. There you go. So we see it's 2,605, 1,605, I guess that's meters. Roughly speaking, that should be around 5,000 feet, I guess. I'm not sure if you can see that from here, but we'll try. Let's get back to Google Maps overlay here. Where the heck is the map? There. Oh, I'm really hating my mouse right now. It's double clicking randomly. It's so hard to keep it stable. We're cruising at the ground speed of 331 knots at the moment. That's amazing. Redeemed your points for a future flight. Oh, where is it? Didn't see. Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. Yes, Quebec City. Oh yeah. Okay, thanks. So that route that we were talking about. Thanks, Scotsman. Thanks for highlighting it. Because of Flight Sim, you're not enjoying other games including RDR2. I am on the exact same boat. A lot of other things are happening in other sims, like the Rail Valley updates, Train Sim World 2, Truck Sim updates. But I'm so enthralled with Flight Sim right now, I can barely play anything else. It's like all my enthusiasm is getting diverted into Flight Sim 2020 and all the different applications. Thank you for following, Flying Master Chef. Sorry I kind of called you out there. My bad. Let's rewind that. Thank you for following. Lurk away. I didn't say anything. Sometimes I forget. Feel free to join us in chat if you are so inclined, or lurk away. We'll not bother you at all anymore. You have a couple of pilots flying jets. Oh, that's cool. Bought a DA-62. 6800 plus range, multi-engine. Wow, you are much farther than I am into on-air. So cool. Greater Toronto area. We were last week. Yes, we started in Toronto, made our way to Montreal. This week, we started in Montreal, made our way to Quebec, and now going into Halifax. Train Simon 2, hello. There you go. Thanks, Master Chef. Phew. Sorry about that. Thanks for joining. Thanks for following, and thanks for joining us in chat. Train Sim World 2 looks pretty good. Scotsman can vote for that, and it looks like they are changing their ways in that they are constantly providing updates and information to the fans. They're being much more transparent nowadays, so perfect time to get into Train Sim World, I would say. But at the moment, I'm just so much into Flight Sim that I don't have anything else to spare in terms of enthusiasm. It does seem improved in performance from my first try into it. Train Sim World 2, I can get 50 to 60 frames constantly in the, I think it was a German route that I tried. They are changing. Those Boeing mods, it will take a while before that happens. I'm expecting earliest would be early next year before those study level planes will come in. Challenge of learning how to fly, yeah, definitely. Learning the real life procedures, learning the real life equivalents, and trying to follow that as close as possible. That is super interesting to me. And on air is providing a very good avenue for that, because on air company manager is very immersive because it encourages you to follow those real life procedures in a way, like simple things like keeping your landing lights on when landing or taking off, making sure that your flaps are set when taking off. It's not applicable for all the planes, but it's a good first step, and it just gives you that additional immersion that normally you would think, why would I need landing lights on? No one's looking anyway. But because on air manager is there, it's looking, and it gives you like a good motivation of flying safe, flying steady, not stalling like in my video, and yeah, keeping all the lights on as needed, especially. It's very nice. Visual landing way more fun. That's true, but an ILS approach does have its appeal. Having the system actually work is pretty fulfilling as well. So I tend to do stuff, mix them as much as possible. Sky Vector is a very good US based tool. I'm not sure if it's also good in Europe, but I found that if you're flying in the US, it's very accurate, has a lot of the information there, but if you go to other areas, it's not as filled with info. But it's a good free alternative. Next stage of the roadmap in 2 weeks, 29th of September. I'm very proud of them for that, having a roadmap at all. It's a very nice way to be transparent to the community. That's how I would hope all developers are like. You still have that bugged weather, 225 at 3 knots at 29,000 feet above ground. Hopefully that gets fixed. Same here. Yes, Navigraph VFR charts, definitely looking forward to that. Right now though, you can also kind of do that in Little Nav Map. I'm not sure exactly where Little Nav Map is getting this data from, but you can actually get airspace information here. There is an overlay you can turn on, and here you can get to show all the airspaces. See? So where we just came from, Quebec, that is actually a Class E airspace. from 2,200 to 12,500 feet. So there is something already in Little Nav map. So if you really want to follow the different airspaces, it is in Little Nav map already. All the overlapping airspaces you can see here. Yeah, that's a very nice tool that Squirrel has. Okay. He uses that for real life flying as well, right? But yeah, with Little Nav map you can get close to that somehow already. It doesn't have the the flight plan elevation airspace, which would have been much better, but it has this lateral one at least. Unfortunately not, internet I think we'll have to end it after this flight because I can only stream up to 40 minutes from now. But next week we can continue. We can do that route that Tom suggested and Scotsman suggested. Tom suggested a Charlotte to somewhere flight, and Scotsman wanted to go along the river route here, which would make a lot of sense seeing as we are in Canada already. Little Nav Map UI is a bit complicated. It is, yes. There is a steep learning curve there, but once you get used to it, it's a very powerful tool. And I just realized someone might have pointed this out and I missed the message. We are actually not in standard QNH, standard altimeter. My bad. It's my miss, guys. Should have done that once we passed 18,000 feet. Just for added realism. Corner Brook. Where is Corner Brook? Your second monitor doesn't have any more space really. I know, right? Yeah, that was the exact problem I had back when I had two monitors. So when I bought a 1440 monitor, I was happy, not only because I would get an upgrade in my main monitor, but also because I would have a triple monitor setup and I would have more windows for flight sim stuff. Ah, it's in Newfoundland, I see. Yes, we can go there next week, following that route that Scotsman suggested. Let me see if I can find it here. Corner Brook. Well, let's go into the map here. So Newfoundland is here. Corner Brook is right there. I see it. There it is. 175 monitor. At least you're getting 75. Nice. Sim rate, yeah, high-end stuff. Of course, Squirrel being Squirrel, he has the fanciest equipment. Love that setup. Use your tablet. That's true. That's a good workaround. I don't know how to do it either though. What application do you use, Swappy? Is that a tablet, an Android, or an iOS tablet? The route you suggested takes me over the Smoky Mountains. Ooh, then maybe we should fly pretty low. Just maybe 2,000 feet above those Smoky Mountains. What is a Smoky Mountain anyway? In the Philippines, a Smoky Mountain is actually like a landfill. But I guess in this case it's really mountains. Space Desk. Ah, I see. That's a paid application, I would assume. But much cheaper than a monitor, I guess. Why no 75 in MSFS 2020? At the very top of Newfoundland, there's one of the very first settlements of Vikings. Wow. It's pretty cool. We should have that next week. Do you know the place? If I look at the very north, I see Kirpon Island or Noddy Bay, Saint Lunar Sorry for the pronunciation, guys.
Westjet 3 Heavy Toronto, today record contact, Fox 3.
Free 99. What does it mean, free 99? Oh, free. It's free. Wow. That's cool. Wouldn't have expected that from that kind of app. Space Desk, I'll have to look into it. Because I do have a spare iPad laying around. Maybe I can have a 4-monitor setup. It was in a massive rainstorm. Speaking of rainstorms, in yesterday's video, where we flew to Caticlan in the Philippines, we arrived just in the nick of time because a few hours after, it was raining very hard there. There was a storm. So when I flew offline there in that area, there was zero visibility. Whoa! What the heck was that? Okay, everything seemed normal again. Scary stuff. Yeah, so everything was zero visibility, and it was beautiful how I
TBM
continued
1
the
Charlie
climb.
Lima contact Moncton Center on 124.3. Enjoy.
1 sec. 124.3 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Aircraft calling center, say again with your call sign.
Let's ignore that. Center TBM 1 Charlie Lima at flight level 290.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
I have added extra voices in Pilot ATC. There is a video, if you check out the mods list, !mods, there is a row there called Pilot ATC Voices that links you to a YouTube video by a guy named Bob. He has a very nice tutorial on how to do that. So you basically leverage the voices in Windows 10 and port them into Pilot ATC. But yeah, I was telling a while ago, in Caticlan, when it was raining hard, zero visibility, you see all the rain spattering and all the drops moving over because of the propeller. And then as you climb and go through the clouds, and after you breach the clouds and you see that clear sky above, oh, that's beautiful. My goodness. I made a time lapse for that. I shared that with the subscribers and patrons. Just a little quick time lapse. Nothing fancy, but it does look pretty scenic. I recorded like 10 minutes or so for each specific camera angle and then did a time lapse on it. Very nice how looking at the clouds constantly shifting, and as you're flying to your destination, looks very, very real. The voice accent, I know, right? Oh yeah, some of these I really have to fine tune. It's a bit weird. Also, there seems to be a bug with the voice, the combination of the voice configs that I'm doing. Time lapse is wonderful. I would have preferred being able to keep the camera steady so it wouldn't bob as much, but there is no way to disable the camera. Actually, maybe there is, huh? Disabling the camera bobbing. Like if we go, this might get loud, guys, okay? Just a heads up. there's an option somewhere. That looks much better. Yeah, the exhaust. So nice, right? You can even see it from here. Bit of the distortion, I don't know what you call it technically. When you add XATC chatter files, I keep changing it based on the region. Yeah, it's not as smooth, but I have to change it. Like a while ago when I started the stream, we still had Asia voices because I was recording previously in the Philippines. So the Asia voices were still there. So for each region that I want to group together, I have it in a separate folder. Truck or driving sim. That's true. Yeah, I would have preferred Swappy if the voices would automatically change based on where you are. But I think they can only do that in XATC inside X-Plane, but not in Pilot to ATC. If you're using it for that. How are we doing in terms of distance? Let's have a look. 121 miles away. Is that correct? More or less. More or less. .30 knots ground speed. Looking good. I was looking for ways to make it automatically switch before, but I just gave up in the end. After all, I rarely switch from one region to the other anyway, so I just manually change it. After a while I got used to it. We'll bring up Navigraph here. What kind of arrival can we expect? Well, we are not assigned any arrival, but we have been assigned an approach. We'll see how that works. Thank you for following. Welcome to the channel. Feel free to say hi and chat with us so we can greet you. More than welcome to lurk also. ETS2 plus ATS plus MSFS plus TSW plus SnowRunner. That's the dream. That's the dream. Hey Drips, thank you for following. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing? Good there. Have we crossed over to Canada again? Oh, we've done that since a while. We are flying over New Brunswick now, from what I see. Fredericton? Is that familiar to you guys? Sussex? Different Sussex, I imagine. Top of descent should be somewhere here, based on Pilot to ATC. Should be in around 15 minutes from now, 15 minutes. So let's have a look at the charts here. If we look at the arrivals, there's actually a way here. You can get a visual feel of all the arrivals, and you can choose from here which one would be most appropriate for us. But right now there is, I don't think, anything that is appropriate for our specific flight plan. So let's just pick Fundy 4 just for the look of it. It says that the transition level is flight level 180, so indeed, same as in the rest of North America. Thank you for that tip. Safe altitude within 100 nautical miles. Alright, that's fine. So if you go to the airport here. Approach would be, well, I guess that should be in the arrival chart. Runway 05. We'll see later. Once they assign us an approach, ATC should do that in a bit once we get closer. Have you done all the bush trips? Yeah, the Nevada one was a bit plain in some areas. I'm only on the second leg, it's a bit plain, I didn't finish it. I have not done many of the bush trips because I don't like the plains. For example, what was it? The 172 was it in the Balkans? I didn't like it because it was using the G1000 version. It didn't seem right to do a bush trip on a G1000. I don't know, it felt too modern. Drive a truck to the airport, put the UPS package on the plane, take off, land, drop the mail off on the train, then snow, run it to the mailbox. Sounds like the perfect combination. And the Sims that come get the mail. Yeah, World Simulator. Yeah, now that's a simulator. End to end. Why not? Get some more water here. But the Balkans is wonderful. Yeah, that's true. I wish you could change the aircraft. Because especially in the beginning, the G1000 is very cheaty. It will tell you exactly where the next waypoint is. And it's kind of hard not to look. There are some tips like deleting the flight plan, stuff like that. That might be a good workaround, but the G1000 just puts me off. And I'd rather do some unofficial bush trips instead. Maybe I can follow the same flight plan, just not in a bush trip, technically speaking. Like, take a plane, go to the same spot, and follow the navigation. That might work. Yeah, I don't think we're near that level of simulation yet. But maybe in our lifetime, we'll see. With the new update, there will be options for third-party devs to add push trips. For real? Oh, that would be awesome. Because I'm sure there will be a lot of members of the community, you know, just doing free stuff, who will add stuff there for sure. With how creative the community is, I'm sure someone will come up with something. I might even come up with something of my own. That's pretty cool, guys. Community shared bush trips. I love that. That is a great idea. A double negative. Ah, yeah, that's a good point. In dev mode, you can change the aircraft. That's a good workaround. Thanks for the tip. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Drive to airport in ATS and take off and fly to another ATS airport and pick it up. I was planning on doing that. Maybe when the airliners are properly modeled in this sim, we can do that. Or I can do it with smaller planes for the moment. Do a truck, then flight, then truck, or something along those lines. Might be worth a try. Hey Thor! Been a while, man, how have you been? We are flying in Canada, on our way to Nova Scotia from Quebec. There's already an option. What they need is a new SDK update. The developer has already previewed some and they will release it when the new patch comes. Oh, you know what? I saw it in the Little Navmap forum. Apparently, some of the Asobo developers who came up with the bush trip, I'm not sure which bush trip it was, they used Little Navmap for determining the flight plan. Because once someone was looking into the files of the game, of the sim, and they found this like created by Little Navmap line item, which is something that Little Nav Map does when you save a flight plan or something along those lines. So that's cool. They're using this freeware map for their simulator. Developer has already previewed some and they release it when new patch comes, but they're releasing it as a paint mod. Ah, I see. Well, if it's good enough, I'm willing to pay it. Has to be worth it though. Nice. But yeah, Little Nav Map is such a powerful tool. It's not the easiest thing to use, but it's super powerful. Especially for flight planning, I love how easy it is to pick a departure and an approach. You can use the keyboard and everything. Very visual. Where are we now? Are we doing in time? 20 minutes? ETA is 8 minutes. No, actually, when are we expected to arrive? 24 minutes. Okay, might have to accelerate here a bit, guys. I am accelerating time 2 notches. I only discovered this recently. You can actually accelerate the time in the sim, increase the sim rate.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, contact Moncton Center on 127.12. Enjoy your morning. Center on 12.
My bad. Center TBM 1 Charlie Lima, flight level 290.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
Yeah, the flight sim as a hobby will keep you occupied. Oh my god, in the limitless time. Still a bit of sightseeing before we get called into work. At least in the TBM 930 you can go into the passenger cabin. Not much you can see from here though, huh? Maybe from here. Not too shabby. It depends on the plane. Most of the planes have limited areas where you can move the camera, but for the TBM specifically they allow that. Difficult to work into flight sim hobby, that's very true, yeah. Work gets in the way, huh? Right. Let's fast forward this again. Nice plane. It is. Love this TBM 930. It's not study level yet, but it's getting there.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, expect the RNAV approach to runway 05 with the Vietnam transition at Stanfield International. Center on 123.9 DBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Center TBM 1 Charlie Lima at flight level 290.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
So they said expect the RNAV approach to runway 5 with the Obnom transition. Okay, let's... Oh crap, I might not be able to plug that in because I don't have an arrival. This might be one of the bugs, but let's try. RNAV 5 Zulu with the Obnom transition. Load that in. It does work. Nice. It does work. Cool. That's pretty promising. Not sure if that's exactly correct, but let's double check that in the chart. So if I load that in, approach RNAV Zulu with the Obnom transition, and let's view the chart there. Let's overlay that where we are at the moment. So here we are. We are right there. This is the chart start. So Obnom is right here. But how do we get to that point? Do we just go direct? Or will they give us vectors going there? Yeah, that's quite interesting. Because here is Halifax, Yankee Hotel Zulu VOR, and from there we need to get to Oblong. So do we just fly direct? Maybe? Interesting. Let's study the chart nonetheless. Minimum 699. Let's go and plug that in. Barrow 699 feet. So we should get that indication of minimums there just as an additional reference. And then, since this is an RNAV approach, you don't need to plug in a frequency. But I do want to track the Halifax VOR just for additional guidance. So let's plug that in 115.1 VOR. Enter. Put the bearing on here. Still too far away, we cannot still track it. No, I have not transferred that to active. There you go. Halifax VOR 63 DME. Cool. So pretty close getting there.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima descend and maintain flight level 230.
230.
Descend and maintain flight level 230 DBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Right, off to descend. Descend at 2,000 feet here. Turning down the throttle. Make it back to this one. Have a good night, Scotsman. We kind of reached Nova Scotia. Catch you next time, man. Enjoy train simming indeed. I learned TBM from Hot Start, from Explain, because of their wonderful TBM 900. And then I kept watching Steve Okinivo's videos, learned a lot from him as well. And other TBM 900, TBM videos in YouTube. 75! Exactly. Right, so let me have a look at how this flight planning works. How they plan to get us to Obnom from Halifax VOR. It does seem like we are going to just follow that in terms of the pilot to ATC. Yeah, it looks like it's a direct. So if you look here, that's Halifax VOR, Yankee Hotel Zulu. I'll turn on the VORs here. That one. So we go direct to Oblong and then join the RNAV 5 approach in there. And then there's also a missed approach procedure, which is not plugged into the sim, but we will brief it anyway.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, contact Moncton Center on 135.3. Have a good morning.
135.3, good morning, TBM 1 Charlie Lima. Center TBM 1 Charlie Lima, descending flight level 230.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
Hey Jams, how are we doing? Thanks for joining! Where the heck did that come from? That I think was Cham saying hi. His videos are great, yeah. So entertaining, Steve Okinivo. He's such a good pilot. I learn a lot from him, he's such a nice guy.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, QNH is 1023 at Jean Lesage International, descend and maintain 17,000 feet. QNH is 1023, descend and maintain 17,000 feet. TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Just having them say that back. 17,000. I have to remember to go back to local altimeter setting by the time we reach the thing, 18,000 feet mark. So this is a bit different. It's a bit circling, but I guess that should do as well. So we'll see. We'll try and follow what the Flight Sim 2020's flight plan gave, and then if needed, ATC will correct us anyway and give us vectors. Halifax VOR 44 miles away. Looking good. So let's compute this. Crap, we don't have the proper... let's see. Okay, so we are 35 miles. Lokri is in 8 miles plus 35 is 43 plus Obnom is 16, so 59, 4,000 feet. So we have to be at, we have to lose 16,000 feet. 16 times 3, 1632, 1632, 48, is it? 48 miles away is when we should start our descent. That should be okay, okay-ish. Yeah, we can keep this up, this rate. Future pilot, nice. Are you also trying out Flight Sim 2020? What is your opinion on it? Are we seeing some sights now from below? They're still pretty high up, but looks good so far. Let's go ahead and brief the missed approach. So missed approach procedure. Climb to 3,000 feet. Track 053 to Leros waypoint. And then from Leros, I think, yeah, we'll be holding there. Pretty straightforward.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima descend and maintain 1,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 1,000 feet. TBM 1 Charlie Lima. We have crossed to local. Let me just press B here just to get the local altimeter. Now we are headed direct to Halifax VOR. Air Force, I see. Nice. It's not a game, it's a sim. True. In some aspects, I don't think it's worthy enough to be called a sim, but overall, I think it should be. Given time, once the developers continue with their updates, it might very well be a worthy sim, especially with the bigger planes. But right now, it's doing pretty good, considering. I think that's a good advice. Stay away from the flight planning in the main menu. Just plug in all the waypoints here in the actual G1000, G3000, or whatever avionics you have. That will give a more consistent thing. I might even try doing a direct to waypoint in such cases. I think that works better, because I think coming from the flight plan in the main menu and then plugging that in automatically in the plane, I think that process is a bit bugged. It's not perfectly synchronized, causing a lot of problems. Don't know what is this. Highlight the message. Yeah, just a way to spend channel points. He explains what he's doing and also flying and also talking to ATC. So many things. Yeah, such a seasoned pilot. Really enjoy watching him. And he makes great content. He takes special time to position all those cameras. And if you imagine how he does it, you know, those initial shots, like in the beginning and the end of the video, where he has shots where he enters the plane, he leaves the plane. You can imagine how he does it in real life. He would, for example, after he lands, he would probably go down the plane first, set up the camera, and then go back in while it's filming, and then pretend that he's going down for the first time. You know, all those extra steps that you don't really see when you're just watching the video.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Yeah, it's much more effort filled than how it seems initially. Descend and maintain 4,000 feet, TBM 1 Charlie Lima. Maybe drone camera, but he would still have to set it up and would have to probably come from inside the plane. And all those time lapses that he does. Just continuing the descent here. 4,000 feet by the time we reach Oblom. 4,000 feet. Actually, no, it should be 3,000. Yes, it's 4,000 initial approach, fix Obnom at 4,000, but by the time we reach Oddcast, we should be at 3,000 feet. So we continue our descent there. Alright, so let's follow ATC, what they will give us. That looks pretty straightforward. Let me open the airport chart as well so we know where we're going. In terms of taxiway, my mouse is double clicking again. In terms of taxiway, runway 5, I'm expecting we probably can exit the runway either at Charlie, which is a bit of an awkward angle, or Delta is probably better. We'll see. Craft Fecco using the points. Word to do office work, if only office work is playing games. Enjoy the years. This satellite imagery is not the highest quality, a bit blurred. I think hopefully as we descend, as we continue our descent here, we should get more info on the what do you call it? On the should get more details on the vicinity, trees, buildings popping up, and the logic, how it pops up, is actually very fluid. I like it. You barely notice things popping up if you don't really look at them hard. Very subtle. I think we can slow down our descent here. That looks good. Just descend at 1,000 feet per minute. So this is the main difference I see. In the sim, that's that approach from Halifax, that waypoint from Halifax to Obnom is curved. In pilot to ATC, that's straight. That one. So if we do that curved approach, pilot to ATC might not like it. Oh, it's double clicking again. Yeah, I might have to replace my mouse soon. We can continue speeding up here, I think. Below 200 knots to be on the safe side. Looking good. This should be Nova Nova Scotia already. The airport should be on the right, that's the one. So we'll be kind of going around it. But we see the approach lights already. That's runway 05, runway 5 right there. Cool. Now runway 5 has a heading of runway heading of 053. So let me plug that in now so I don't forget. Awesome. Explain. Not anytime soon. Still enjoying Flight Sim 2020 very much. And although I miss the study level planes in there, the scenery, everything, the entire cohesiveness just makes me enjoy Flight Sim that much more. Traitor. Yeah, I uninstalled it. It was 100 gigs. Not really beneficial anymore. If they come up with an update, then we can see again. Still pretty low quality there, huh? Still not loading in. Alright, so let's see. Now we're reaching Halifax VOR, 2 DME, 2 miles away. Straight ahead, there you go, 1.9, and getting closer. There it is. So now you see this one, that curved thing. It's not really how pilot to ATC sees
TBM1 Charlie
it.
Lima cleared for the RNAV approach to runway 05 with the Vietnam transition. Cleared for the RNAV approach to
There's
runway
the glide path.
05 with the Vietnam transition TBM1 Charlie Lima.
But that actually kind of makes sense in a way, even if it's curved like that, because that makes the turn here to Obnom much more fluid. So in a way, that's kind of nice. Otherwise, if we follow like the pilot to ATC routing like this, that turn when we reach Obnom, that turn will be very sharp, more than 90 degrees. Which is not impossible, but just less smooth. Pick of sensitivity settings. Let's have a quick look at it. Should be pretty straightforward what I set. Minus 25%, only in the z-axis. Yeah, it's just I probably cannot find the perfect number, but instead I adjust to it on my own. Sure thing. Yeah, but if I keep fiddling around with the settings, I don't think I will find the magic number, so instead I just keep it in one level that is more or less okay, and then I let the muscle memory learn it. Twitch is not letting you bit mine. With the 75 setup, you should not be bit mining anymore even.
Quebec 124, contact 71207.
I wonder if we'll be transferred to approach or we can switch straight to tower. In any case, I'll plug in tower frequency here. 198.4. We'll see how that works. We're starting to see the area getting fleshed out. More and more trees popping up as we get closer. look at the map here. Where are we currently? Right, there we are. Dartmouth. Halifax. There should be a nice bridge connecting Halifax and, is it Dartmouth? You guys are familiar with that? Right there in that spot. Past Obnum. We'll see if we can find it. Maybe we can spot it now. But then bridges in the sim, it won't mix very well for now. The trees look a bit dull. I really like the trees. They might be a bit too tall though. But the look of them I kind of like, and maybe we need palm trees. A lot of people from the Philippines are looking for palm trees when I fly there. There we go, making our turn to Obnum. Airport should be right there, I believe. Well, it's good weather actually. We could have requested for the visual so that we could cut these corners and we didn't have to go all around this circle. But pilot to ATC doesn't always play nice with the what do you call it? Doesn't play nice with the changing mid-flight. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they look good, sometimes they're just too dull. Yeah, true. The placements can be a bit hairy sometimes because it's all automated. Okay, I'm expecting me to be given instructions to descend to 3,000 feet soon. There is the city. Still beautiful weather. Still 225 at 3 knot wind. Yikes. All those buildings. Too bad our tour guide is not here anymore. There's the bridge I was referring to, but I doubt that's how it looks like in real life.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima descend via the Obnum transition to 3,600 feet.
36.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima QNH is 1023 at Stanfield International Contact Tower on 118.4. Have a good one. QNH is 1023 Tower on 118.4 TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
Right. Switch that. Tower TBM 1 Charlie Lima inbound for RNAV 5 approach.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, this is Halifax Tower on 118.4. Please repeat your request.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima inbound for RNAV 5.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, this is Halifax Tower on 118.4. Please repeat your request.
Let me plug that in here instead, since they cannot understand.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima inbound for RNAV approach to runway 05.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact. Continue RNAV to runway 05, call when established on final.
Continue RNAV to runway 05, will call when established on final. TBM 1 Charlie Lima.
There we go, making our turn to final.
Charlie Tower, have an amendment to your departure instructions when you're ready.
Actually descending very slow here.
Charlie, soon as safely, we'll turn left heading 090 and report that turn to me.
Catch up to 3,000 feet. There we go. Alright, that looks good. Now the glide path doesn't seem to be, well, hopefully by the final approach fix that should work itself properly. There's the landing, the runway. Strange.
Tactical 515, contact March Airborne, winds 170 at 15, clear takeoff runway 18.
Before Lopma, should have it already. Well, let's arm the approach in case we get there. Get my flaps to take off as well. Landing lights, I actually forgot to turn that on. Rehearsal separator going on. Yeah, looks like it's not following. Crap. Alright. Yeah, looks like glide path is not a thing here. They're a bit bugged. Let's turn off autopilot and do this manually. TBM1 Charlie Lima established on RNAV to runway 05.
TBM1 Charlie Lima winds are 328 at 5 knots, clear to land runway 05.
Clear to land runway 05, TBM1 Charlie Lima. Landing gear. Slow down here.
Quebec Charlie, altimeter 29er 69er, wind 170 at 15, got D20, you are clear to land on 18. Clear to land, 18,
Gear is down, inertial separator is on, flaps not yet. Yaw damper is off. That's fine, let's slow down more here. We need to go down to 122 knots so I can deploy full flaps. But it's not slowing me down, so I think I will have to go up a bit, get that speed, and just dive down later, catch up to it later. But what we need for now is really getting that speed down. There we go, full flaps. Now we catch up to it. Can do some forward slip as well if you need to lose some altitude. Applying right rudder, left aileron. Okay, that looks good. There we go. Okay. Trimming.
Foxtrot Delta Mike X-ray, contact departure airborne, wind is 170 at 17 knots, you're clear takeoff runway 18 from Papa.
Pretty low here, my goodness. Not the best approach in neither the slope nor the speed. But there we go, make it work somehow. Alright. Throttling down, looking at the far end of the runway, and just letting that level off. That can work.
TBM1 Charlie Lima, exit runway when able.
Where are we going? Not the best approach, but I'll take it. GG. In front. Landing strip is in front, that's true. We can exit here, Charlie. It's a bit of a sharp turn, but I think we can do it. No need for reversers. There it is. Looking good there. Okay. Flaps up. Switching to taxi lights. Turning off those heaters. And once we're past this line,
472 over to departure today.
TBM1 Charlie Lima, clear of active.
TBM 1 Charlie Lima, welcome to Stanfield International, contact ground on 121.9er. Have a good morning.
121.9er, good morning, TBM 1 Charlie Lima. But let's not tune in there anymore. Just park in front. That looks like a GA ramp anyway. Looks like GA parking to me. And then we'll call it a stream because we are extending already. Thank you guys for staying with me. We made it in one piece. Let's continue next week. Some more exploration based on viewer requests. Is there someone waiting for us here? I doubt it. Just park next to this guy, this Bonanza. Whoa. Did I do something wrong? Are they waiting for me now? That looks good. Alright.
Yeah, 547. Alpha. Hold short of tango.
Nice mixed flight. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's just shut things down. Keep it close end to end. If I can click that properly, like, oh come on, there you go. Okay, there you go. I'm happy with that. Leads are off already. That looks good. Glad you made it too, Swappy. Catch you in Discord. Thanks, Rohan, and thanks everybody for joining. Catch you in 2 days. We'll be checking out the updates in ATS for Chihuahua by Team Reform. Thanks, Clumsy flying everybody, and catch you then. Bye bye. See you soon.